Welcome back to Good Morning Kenya. It's 10th day of February 2026. Oh my goodness, 2026. It's now 5 minutes past 7 a.m. Let's get updated on what's happening in the country, politically speaking, and of course across our borders. It's very important. Yeah, my three wise gentlemen are already on set. Let's talk about politics. It's interesting. So, my name is Victor Low. If you're just joining us, this is KBC Channel 1. All right, so I'll be taking you through the front page of our local dailies very briefly. This is the best breakfast show, okay? And if I say that Dr. Peter Mbai is around, Odoyo Wedi Mwalimu is here, and Shadrack Wamboi is also here, you know it's just about to get on fire. You get that? Gentlemen, good morning, good to see you. Gentlemen, good morning, good to see you.
Good morning.
I'm not serving you tea, come on, Evo.
Good morning, good to see you.
Okay. Doctor, you disappeared. How have you been?
I've been good.
Hot water or coffee?
What will do.
Okay.
Hot water will do.
All right.
Yeah.
Good to see you, my brother.
Very well.
How is everything?
Everything is good.
You've been so busy around.
Well, yes, we had to start the year on a high. Yeah.
What have you been up to?
Been a good year so far. Yeah, this is a year to push. We want to make sure by August we'll have won the psychological and the mental war, waiting for the physical next year. It has to be sustained. Yes. Our push to go down and brand ourselves and sell the one-term agenda has to happen very fast this year. We want to leave no doubts that by August we are the government in waiting. We want to make sure that by August, this system and this government know that it's going home. So that next year is just a physical. You must win the battle spiritually, mentally, psychologically first. So that they can know the numbers are gone. And this is very simple.
Who to know?
Numbers don't lie. Now, everybody should know, including the current system and the current government. That's all what we are saying. And ours is not about talking. It's about numbers. Numbers never lie. The 14 million that voted in 2022, today we control about 11 million out of the 14 million.
Okay.
Now, the 8 million that never voted in 2022, you know, registered voters 22, 14 voted. If elections are held today, we control about 75% of the 8 million that never voted. We want to give them a reason to vote next year. The 6.3 million that the new expected voters, we are controlling 75 to 80% again. So the numbers don't lie, and that is it. So out of the 28 million, the 28 million that will be registered by August this year, we control about 20 million. And those are the numbers. It's very clear. All
right. Dr. Peter Mbai is Secretary Economic Affairs and Planning. That is DCP. That's why he's talking with confidence like that. I'm so sure David is not happy about that. Can I serve you hot coffee or hot water? Good morning.
Coffee.
Coffee. Good. What do you make of what Dr. has just said?
This is what they said in 2022, and they promised us to take President William Ruto to Sugoi, and they never did it. And when you see people, their agenda is one term and not highways and not stadia and not hospitals,
right, then
you know it is a community hell-bent on having none of their own rule this country. We will be there. Okay. This is our country, and we must be in it.
How many spoons of sugar?
1.5.
1.5. Very good. Why 1.5? Politically speaking.
Because it is coffee. If it was tea, it would be 1.
Politically speaking. I'm just trying to imagine how it's going to be come 2027, because now today's our discussion is about the Battle Royale. When you hear Dr. speak of what is ahead of us, ahead of 2027, then it means that you and I should be ready for that battle. Are you ready?
We are very ready.
Karibu.
We are very ready. Yes.
Okay.
You know the problem in Kenya today is a battle of people fighting for legacy, people fighting for resources, people fighting for ethnic dominance. That is all that it is. Because if we look at the role of a president, in these 3 years, President William Ruto's project surpasses both Uhuru and Kibaki put together. And you can count them, and they are visible, and they are evident. And the same things they complain about now, they never complained about them then. So what we are having now is what those 3 things I have told you about. And I said here before that President William Ruto's main and only opponent is Uhuru Kenyatta. It is not Rigathi, it is not Matiang'i. You see, the political formation that we have today, you remember Jubilee?
Yes.
Uhuru resurrected it, replaced Tuju with somebody else, and now recently he resurrected again Azimio, replaced Junet with somebody else. You wonder if he wants to run for president also. He doesn't want to run. He can't afford anybody surpassing his legacy. He can't afford anybody trying to dominate Kenya in terms of resources. This is the problem.
All right.
And I am telling you people, if you don't stop this now, this axis will be in power for another 30 years. That I can tell you for free.
Which axis?
And this axis of Rigathi Uhuru. And that is the game. And that is what they said in Limuru 3, if you didn't listen. Yeah.
All right. Shadrach is an advocate of the High Court. The axis is going to be there for the next 30 years. And Odoyo Wede is not happy about that. Good to see you.
Oh, thank you. It's Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We've not met this year.
Yes.
You're well?
Yes, I'm well, thank you.
Great.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Karibu sana.
Yes, to be
Gentlemen,
also in the midst of this great
Let's do this. All right.
Yes.
So the axis is going to continue for the next 30 years, meaning, according to him, it really doesn't need that to repeat itself. No problem. Anyway.
Well, Victor, I think it's a matter of waiting and seeing. Yes, time will tell, as they always say. So whether or not this axis will be there for a very long time, I think the most fundamental question we need to ask ourselves here and now is whether any of the axes, whether the Uhuru, Rigathi, or the Ruto and other people's axes are there for the benefit of the great people of the Republic of Kenya. So that is the bottom line for me, because in the midst of all this noise between the one term, two term, no term, term, so in the midst of all this noise, the most important question that we need to be asking ourselves is whether the sovereignty of the people will be protected, whether the common man will be assured of going to a dispensary and getting medicine, our children who are back at home facing difficulties, some of them are facing difficulties in joining grade 10, whether they will be assured of education, whether secondary school will be made free for all within the Republic of Kenya. I think those are the most fundamental questions for me, so that we do not lose ourselves or lose sight of what is important in the midst of all this noise between the politicians.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. Doctor, what paper do you have? You have the Star. What's the front page of the Star newspaper? Very quickly.
Make or break test for Kalonzo, Rigathi in 2-day retreat.
Ah, nice one. What does it say?
There's going to be a retreat this week for the alternative government team, just to come up with the issues on logistics and the issues on how to move on for the year. What are the priorities? What should Kenyans expect going forward? And all these kind of things. It's just coming together to sit down, issues on coalition building, issues of the issue, to begin looking at the issue of who will take the mantle and all that. Again, not any announcement expected, just to sit down and agree the formula. What is the best timing? What's going to happen? What message are we taking to Kenyans? And all these kind of things. Yeah, so it's going to be there. A very interesting moment. You have seen that one of the things we are going to be doing this year is to move out, literally, all of us moving out to the whole part of the country to simply go talk to our people and keep on. The most important thing right now, Kenyans are suffering in a big way. Schools, education system, health system collapsed. The issues we are sinking in public debt, and the issue of public finances, corrupt systems. We have problems with the disbursement of funds, e-citizen, a lot of corruption. People need hope. The first thing is to tell people, hold on a minute, it has been very bad. My brother is talking about the 3 years programs. Excuse me, let me tell you, look at the headline of yesterday. We have about 50 corruption scandals in this country since 3 years later. And don't come and begin telling us about going to Singapore. First of all, account for your 4 years. Not 3, 4 financial years. Account, that's about 4 trillion times 4. Almost 16 trillion in budget money. Then add the 4 trillion of the finance debt, public debt rather, 4 trillion, 20 trillion. What the president should be doing anywhere he goes, first of all, come and table. Tell us tangible things, guaranteed minimum returns. Tell us about 1,450 ICT hubs. Where are they? Tell us about industrial parks. What happened? Tell us about specific things. Where is the 1 million jobs per year for the young people? But in the reverse, Kazimaju, people are dying there. We are literally sending people to die. And then the Prime Minister comes and says, you want to blame the young people for dying. Who licenses them? The government. Knows the recruitment agencies. What happens once you land there? Your documents are confiscated and you are forced to sign a contract in Russia that you have been placed into a military operation. Who is overseeing this? The government. Instead of giving the young people jobs, you send them to die. So come and give us what I call a scorecard, right? Instead of coming to...
All of us can see what the president is doing across the country. We can all see that.
Including going literally to go and dish out money, the work that can be done by a junior youth officer in the district. What are you talking about? Let me ask you. Go back to Kibaki era. Would you imagine President Kibaki would go take a loan from World Bank? Finally, and thank God, one of the senior brokers in State House has confirmed it's a loan. They're busy. Come on, you go take a loan.
That was Kibaki.
Wait, I'm just saying, wait a minute. There's a difference. Ask me because I know. There's a difference between empowerment and PR. If you want to empower, give a loan at a very small interest, 3%, right? So that somebody can have the energy to repay back. Then the money can be given to somebody else. You don't go giving free cash. You cannot take a loan which we are going to pay to World Bank, then come and translate it into grants, into free money. That is political. That facility was signed in 2023. It was supposed to be released immediately so empowerment can happen. It had to wait until election year so that it can be used as a campaign strategy. Who does that? So what you're going to do, what you're going to be seen is simple. To tell Kenyans, wait a minute, what Kenyans want, one, is a president who does not fear his own shadows. A president who believes in himself. A president who does not fear other people taking responsibility. A president who, one, anybody going to government next year must swear into one, no corruption. No what I call private interest in public programs, where you see a private hand in all the major programs going on, everywhere, in SHA, housing levy and all those kind of things. Once we agree that Vincent, there's no corruption and all that, we'll have solved 50% of Kenya's problems. Then we come and agree. What policy do we have on health? What policy do we have on education, on mining, on sports, on public finance, on foreign policy? I can tell you this, within 2 weeks of forming government, when people see together who are committed to the moving forward, hear me this, we'll solve 70% of Kenya's problems. Just agree which policy to go by. Like now, the people who came to power, unfortunately, ask me because I know, we tried very hard. There are people who came to power, one, to accumulate wealth. Secondly, kill the constitution, collapse all the systems, get all the power, change the constitution, and rule for 20 years.
When is this retreat?
So there's not
fine, I'll come back to that. When is the retreat?
This weekend.
Where?
Once the SKM, the Dr. Kalonzo Musyoka comes back to the country in Naivasha.
Okay, in Naivasha. All right. Odoyo, good morning.
Victor, it is very easy to see through people who are deceitful. They are telling us what President William Ruto has failed to do with the ICT hubs. Those ICT hubs are out there. But the laptops that Uhuru promised us in 2013 never came. We can't say never came. The Oduma number that we spent 6 billion on never turned up. The Big Four agenda that Uhuru hyped and spent money on never even resurrected. We were told here that we are renovating the Kisumu port at a cost of 3 billion. They went, moved businessmen, and grabbed the plots and got titles and walked away, having done nothing. This thing we are telling us that we have taken a loan from World Bank to give free people. Where did Eurobond go? Didn't even reach Kenya. This one is being given to Kenyans. I don't even know whether it is a loan or not. But it is being given to, let me tell you, the money in the hands of a Kenyan is the money halfway in the hands of the government. Because they pay taxes right here. That money circulates in the economy. And we are not going to, that money has come from the World Bank as a grant. If these people have granted Kenya money, and Kenya is its citizens, why not empower? These people complain very much about the young people who are not being empowered in this country. What has President William Ruto done? He has chosen those who are seeking to do business, you have Nyota. Those who are seeking employment, President William Ruto has brought so many projects in this country that employs people on the go. especially those who did not get good education, are being employed in the affordable housing schemes, are being employed in the multiple road constructions going on, are being employed in the multiple stadiums being constructed in this country. Thus, that lot is taken care of. What about the person who already has a small job, earning him 30,000? He is not going to pay any taxes. You know, the cost of living is high because either your money is less or the cost of goods are high. What has President William Ruto done? He has put money in your pocket by removing the tax for the poor people. And that is how you develop a country. That is how you get to Singapore. You don't get to Singapore by singing one term.
Okay.
You don't get to Singapore by tribal chauvinism.
Just a point of correction. You said that there are no Huduma centers that did not work?
Not Huduma Center, Huduma number.
Huduma number?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, I stand corrected because as at July 2025, there are 59 Huduma centers across the country.
Of course.
Yes.
The centers are there. Actually, the centers are not new things. They were just secretariats removed from inside offices onto independent buildings, like the one we have at GPO. It was removed where it was upstairs and brought down, and we call it Huduma number. But the real thing that took our money, 6 billion, is nowhere.
Are we talking about, sorry, let me ask you. We are talking about the current administration. Uhuru is no longer the president.
You have no moral authority to talk about the current administration when you are quiet in the last one.
People, let me tell you, listen, what happens, you take over government so that because you convince people you can do better. So you cannot come and tell us, oh, Jomo Kenyatta, say we go back to Jomo Kenyatta and Moyera. No, we are talking about the person who is holding power. The person who has an instrument of power. You cannot come, oh, Huduma number, oh, it happened, oh, see what? That is why, when the education system, everybody agreed it was rushed. But we said, since we are in power now, don't keep on telling about the CBC system that maybe had issues. You come and fix it. You can come and give us stories about, oh, it happened in the 1960s. You took power, believing that you had an idea. It is very clear 4 years later. All the advice from technocrats, it was lashed under the table. All the advice from people, the best in this world, civil service servants in Kenya, whatever they say to be done on public finance, on education, on health, the only delivery that happens in this country, it delivers in the mind of one man. The delivery. No other person that knows anything happening. I can tell you this. You cannot come and tell us your biggest flagship is affordable housing. When the Auditor General have said it's a scam herself, the report is in Parliament. You cannot go and own, please Kenyans listen to me. You cannot own a private house on a public land. It will eat you up. Okay. That's why I'm saying those houses must go back to county governments. And we refund the money. And we must free people from the pay slip. If you want, who tells you? Why should I take money from you by force, Vincent? Telling you that I deduct money from you to go and do a house for someone else. We are not a communist country. We are capitalist. You go, we want to free your pay slip. Decide where you want to go buy land in Kamuru. Or wherever and more and go and build. That is your personal responsibility.
What are you planning to do with my payslip?
Thank you. Free it. Let my people go. That is a
what are you planning, you as DCP, to plan to do on my payslip?
We are going to free your payslip so that you can be free to go and do whatever you want with your money.
By doing what?
Remove the housing levy. Okay? We remove the housing levy. Now, look, they have added. They check. Look at what's happening. Oh, 3 million Kenyans. Listen to me. No 1.5 million Kenyans. Under that, 1,000. We made a calculation because that's what we do every day. How much is that? Government is trying to save 6 billion. If you put the amount of money they are making from these deductions on SHA, on housing levy, it's 50 billion. They are making money from Kenyans.
Don't you think President William Ruto is also able to do that? Let me get to hear from Wakili. Wakili.
Well, Victor, you know, sometimes you want to listen and sometimes learn.
Oh, yes.
Yes, but I think the view that I hold is that historically, and I think since man was created, we have always cherished heroes. We have cherished the idea of, people who sell hope, they go and conquer. And I think that is something that politicians have, over time, embraced as their tool of trade. They use it to lure the members of the unsuspecting public. Some of the voices that you hear in this political divide, the one that Daktari is championing, and I have a lot of faith and confidence in Daktari, by the way. I know that he can do something for the people of Nakuru. But be that as it is, the majority of the tenants in that house called DCP are people who are in this current administration. So that whatever they seem to tell you as a people, we must take it with some certain pinch of salt. We must not readily believe them until they tell us that something so fundamental has changed that we now have to take them as speaking the gospel truth. The truth of the matter is, when we want to speak about the housing levy, the last people who should be speaking about the housing levy are the majority of the members of parliament who have been in the UDA, elected under the UDA political party or the Kenya Kwanza coalition. And they are the same people now coming out loudly to tell us that the idea of having this affordable housing was a bad idea.
Yes.
So that is not something that we should be readily, we should readily accept as the gospel truth. These are people who have been in government for the last 3 years. So they cannot tell us that when the ruling party decided to have, to eject Rigathi Gachagua out of the ruling party, then for some reason they became brighter. So if we are to be honest with ourselves, we need to be led by principles.
Yeah.
If you believed that the housing levy, including the deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, was there when it was being passed. This was the first initiative that was passed by the ruling party in the year 2023, during the passing of that first Finance Act of the year 2023. So it was passed by the ruling class. Now, the same people who are telling us that it was not a good idea. So sometimes you want to believe that it is better the devil that you know than the angel that you have never seen. Because you can't tell us that this housing levy is a bad idea. That is number one. Number two, most of the very loud speakers, loud crusaders of that political alliance where Dr. is hailing from, are people who are currently, even as we speak, they are still tenants at Kenya Kwanza UDA party.
What, Dr. Can you confirm that?
No, what he's saying
Yes.
is that most of the MPs who support DCP
Yes.
and they're not Rigathi Gachagua, of course, they are still members of UDA.
Exactly.
That's not a big issue.
No, it's a big issue. It's a big issue legally speaking. Legally speaking, because you see, we have laws so that we have some decorum in the conduct of our political affairs. The law abhors a situation where you are hailing from a political party and championing the ideals of another.
Yeah.
And that is something that the law has precluded. It has prevented us from doing. For some time, you've had terms like political prostitution or something. This is something that the law wanted to protect, so that the common man knows that I am going for this individual because of the ideals and the principles and the values that he espouses. So that if for one reason or another, we have an MP, we have a senator who was elected under the UDA, a political party, then there is nothing that prevents them from resigning from that political party and then seeking a fresh mandate under the current outfit that they find appropriate as the circumstances will dictate. So that if you ask me, if I had my own member of parliament standing out strong telling us that I am done with the UDA, let me go back and seek a fresh mandate from the people because we have a commission that is properly constituted, the IBC is properly constituted. I will take that member of parliament even more seriously.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's take a quick break. But when you come back, it is the Battle Royale. The drone, the battle line is already there. You can already see what's happening. Rigathi Gachagua and Kalonzo are having a retreat so soon over this weekend. Dr. You can confirm that?
Yes.
All right. A venue to be confirmed. And we are seeing a lot of movements. Azimio. So which means Azimio is still alive.
Azimio is there.
Azimio is there. Fine. Because I'm asking that because we can see there are lots of changes. President Uhuru Kenyatta stepping down, giving Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka that position. And now Kalonzo Musyoka going for a meeting and a retreat with Rigathi Gachagua, meaning Azimio is still working with Gachagua. Right?
What I know is that
Azimio is working with Gachagua. If he's still alive.
Azimio is there. That's why discussions are going there to see how things will span out. Let me put it there for now. In short, the discussions are going on. Right now, as we speak, these are some of the things that are going to be discussed.
So
allow the leaders to sit down and figure out what happens after this. Allow me to say that for now. So allow discussions to go on to figure out how the whole issue goes, a change of name or not, what will happen in the coalition.
A change or not?
Well, a coalition has to have a name, right?
So Azimio is dead?
Wait, as a coalition have to have a name.
Okay.
Allow the principals to agree which name to go with.
So which means President Uhuru Kenyatta is still going to work with Rigathi Gachagua and Kalonzo Musyoka?
Let me tell you this.
Let's take a break. Let's take a break. Let's take a break. Let's take a break. All right, welcome back. So I'll come back to you, Daktari. What do you have on the front page of the Standard? I'm being asked for the sake of fairness.
The Standard is written, trained savages.
All right, what does it say? For the sake of our audience, go ahead.
It is saying that at a time the family of killed KMTC student is seeking answers, the police in a statement, rather than give assurance, revealed the callousness with which it treats human life. In an outrageous turn, it seemed to blame residents for the death, which points to a remorseless service unable to tame officers thirsty for the next drop of blood. Despite valiant efforts made to turn the police force into a service, to align it with the requirements of the Bill of Rights in the Constitution, whose spirit is to save life, the behavior therein have stuck in a gone by error.
Oh, okay. Sorry. That's on the front page of the Standard newspaper. Wakili, Daily Nation, if you have there.
Yes. So rogue accusations of lawmakers demanding bribes have persisted and even forced dissolution of a committee in 2015. So governors defy Senate amid bribery scandal.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
This is a story that almost replicates what was happening last year. There were accusations from the president accusing the members of the National Assembly.
Some committee members.
Yes. From asking for bribes before certain bills can be passed or processed in Parliament. So I think now the CEOs of the counties are now apportioning the same equal blame to members of the Senate. I think I had Mudhomi Njuki, governor for Tharaka Nithi, accusing I think 4. He didn't mention names, but he indicated that about 4 senators are the ones that are notorious for asking for bribes or extorting some of these governors, so that either they can write favorable reports, they can't press them hard with questions. I mean, this is what we do. We just play games with serious issues.
Yes. Okay.
Vic, those are very serious allegations, and we cannot let it pass.
Yes.
The allegations on the governors?
No, that is very serious. Whatever governors are trying to say, they must be accountable. It is very simple. There is a law. By the way, senators only go to ask questions list in the Auditor General's report. Come on. It's not the Senate that does the report. It is Auditor General that lists issues. And by the way, you go to clarify. And let me put it clearly, because I've served in the county government. By the time the Auditor General lists a report, indicting you or trying to say that money was lost, they have done letters to you to answer. They have not found responses. Please let us understand some of these things on devolution, right? By the time the Auditor General likes to say we couldn't account for this money, they have already written to you letters at the county. They have not seen responses. So governors should not come out trying to cry trying to say, oh, extortion, or they are harsh and all that. Come and answer questions for Kenyans to hear. Okay. Look at some of the things that are being said where money is getting lost. I can tell you this, if you're not careful, seated here, if you're not careful with the county governments, in another 10, 15 years, they are going to close down. Because they were meant to be centers of production. They are now centers of consumption. They are now centers of consumption. We must be.
I think, Victor, if there is any way I agree with Dr. Mbai, it is that one. Governors are increasingly becoming rogue and they don't want accountability. They have emmuzzled the MCS in their areas that the MCS can say nothing. The only organ left to oversight the governors now, because they bribe every other government agency down there, is the Senate. And it's only the Senate also which is transparent enough to oversight the governors by questioning them in public as this country hears. And that is what they don't like. It is not that they are being questioned. It is they are being questioned on camera and the people see the question they are unable to answer. And this thing has been triggered by your own governor. She has been called to appear before this committee twice and she has not gone. And the last time she was there, she could not answer certain questions.
Who is your governor?
Just wait.
Victor,
You are speaking in parables.
Wait.
Victor, who is your governor?
Wait, Bwana, you'll ask that later. So they went and had a retreat to come and sit and defend one of their own. The governors literally use all the development money to the last cent. What they do is they take a portion of it and procure goods and services.
Okay.
Then they don't pay the service providers. The other half, they just embezzle it. So in the end, that money, they use all of it 100%. If you walk across the country, you will meet projects done by CDF, but you will not meet projects done by county governments.
Okay. So I think the Daily Nation has given some names here. There are some governors who were invited on Monday. That is yesterday, but missed. One of them is Stephen Sang of Nandi, James Orengo of Siaya, Joshua Rungu, Laikipia, Mudomi Njuki, Tharaka Nithi, Cecily Mbarire of Embu County, and Irungu Kangata of Muranga, and finally Issa Timami of Lamu. The Daily Nation is also saying that there are some governors who are notorious for snubbing Senate. Abdul Samad Nasir of Mombasa, Abdi Guyo Isiolo, Lati Lelit of Samburu, we have Simbarati of Kisii, Gideon Mungaro Kilifi, and finally Fernandez Baraza of Kakamega. So that is on the front page of the Daily Nation. I think we've covered all the three papers. Go ahead and take a paper of your favorite choice and run with it. The Battle Royale. So what we are here, Udoyo, now, based on what Dr. is saying, and that is where my interest is, we can see a lot of changes in Azimio, clearly. Already
I think I need to.
No,
I think you have talked too much. We need to sometimes balance what you are saying.
You asked me a question and you went to break, Victor.
Okay.
Can I take 1 minute just to respond to that before?
What do you say, Odoye, first of all?
I think we are not running away from here before 8.
Thank you.
So Mbai will talk.
So,
we need to understand the kind of politics, why I keep on regressing to the previous regime. Because it is the very guy who presided over the previous regime that is now arranging opposition to President William Ruto. Immediately we got out of the last 2022 elections, he arranged Azimio to go into the streets to talk about cost of living and stolen elections. Yet, President William Ruto had not even read his first budget, and you are telling him about a cost of living. But immediately, Azimio got out of the streets. Kioni, Karua, and Commander walked across to go and join their clansmen in the Rigathi Gachagua camp, to go back to the streets under the disguise of 2024 Gen Z uprising, which they concocted in Limuru. Now, Uhuru came back and resurrected Jubilee and gave them a presidential candidate in the name of Matiang'i.
yeah.
Because he knows Matiang'i has no spine and weight to defeat President William Ruto, he's now resurrecting his old cow, Azimio. And he has fired the people he thinks will support what they call a broad-based government, like Junet, and putting people who are friendly to his cause of one term. You cannot come here and tell people one term on the basis of failing to perform when you fail to perform more. That is why I keep on reminding you of the past. You know, elections are not like exam. Exam, we can all go to it and we all pass or all fail. But election, however bad we are, one will win. However good we are, one will win. So that is why election is a comparison between one people or two people or three. That is why I keep on comparing for you. That you are saying that President William Ruto is bad and should go home. What about Matiang'i, who served under Uhuru, that they are returning back? That Matiang'i they want to return back to replace Uhuru, disobeyed 12 court orders, brought for us this thing called the Huduma number, and it never saw the light of day. This is the person who did things without public participation, changing the police uniform, changing the bus uniform, and talking to MPs like they were children. And this is the person you want to put at them because Uhuru wants somebody who will take care of his clan in the future. No, this Kenya belongs to all of us, and we must all have the opportunity to govern it equally.
Okay. Wakili.
Yes, Victor. I think from the long speech by Molemu here, one thing that you will have to understand, and we must be very fair to everybody, is that the more things change, the more they remain the same. The forest has always been changing, but the monkeys are still the same individuals. So the real pawns in this political game are usually the people. And that is why the people must be very careful in the political choice that they will ultimately make. Remember, some of the people, and I mentioned it earlier, some of the people that have messed this country, some of the people that are calling other people names or alleging that other people have also failed this country, are the same individuals that took us down this road. So they have now reinvented themselves. They are now donning another different color. As opposed to the yellow, they are now donning probably green. They are now, some are donning red. So we just need to be very careful in the political choices that we make. And that is why Sheria Mtani, what we've been doing in our civic education, because I've been going around, especially our constituency, and sometimes when I have opportunities like this, I have been mentioning, I have been telling the people that you need to be careful not to choose people because of their political affiliations. Choose someone because of what you know they can do for you, the capabilities that they have for you. In any event, we are not going to have leaders or candidates for the 2027 elections who are going to hail from Uganda or from heaven. Nobody's going to descend from heaven to Kenya to come and seek political office. We are individuals that know each other. We have gone to school together. Some of us have been here. We've been given opportunities of power. And it has, as it has always been said, if you want to know a man, give him power, and you will know who that man is. Some of these people had the opportunity of being given power. They were dining with the high and mighties in this country. At that time, when they were up high and dining with the mighty, they did not have anything to do with the common man. Right now, when the tables have turned, they are now eating with the chicken. They have now reinvented themselves, and they are singing the song that the people are sovereign. We just need to be careful as a people so that we don't get lost in between the noise.
Okay. You say you're running a program called Sheria
Mtani na Shadrack Wamboi. What we do, we've been doing this thing for the last 6 years. What we do, we've just been trying to make legal knowledge available to the members of the great public. Last month we secured a very good judgment. A judgment that stopped the county government of Kajiado from illegally collecting inflated land rates on allotted land. So we've been having sessions with the people. I've been going around the Kajiado North constituency trying to educate the people. Because as the panelists of course mentioned before, is that we have governors who are not keen on doing justice to the public, especially when it comes to the use of public resources. So we have resources that are given by the national government to the county government. And then we have the on-source revenue that is raised by the counties. So sometimes, because it is very easy to discern and to discover the misuse of public resources, especially from resources that have come from the national government. It becomes easy for the county governments to misuse and sometimes even plunder resources that have been acquired through the on-source revenue. So that they demand, like for instance in Kajiado, people who have allotted land are by law supposed to be paying 1,500. Now, through a law that was passed in the year 2023 by the county, this cost was exaggerated, was to 7,500. So we went to court, we fought it for about 1 year, and we got a judgment from the Environment and Land Court. I have been going around because even as we secured that win, the county government still insists on levying more than what is required under law. So we must continue educating the members of the public so that people, when push comes to shove in the year 2027, in August, I think that is the day that we are waiting for the battle. People will make informed political choices. You will be choosing someone, not because they hail from UDA or DCP or all these political parties, no. We'll be electing Victor Olo, Shadrack Wamboi, Mwalimu, Daktari Mbae, because of what they stand for, their track record. No, not because they are good politicians, because they only claim, some of these politicians, they only claim to glory, is that they are politicians and they know how to play the game.
I think that's a very good point there, because we must get out there and choose good leaders.
Yes.
That's a good point. Thank you, Wakili. Now, allow me to take you back, Daktari, before you took a break. You want to say something, and I ask a question, and I want a gentleman to talk about this, because now we are seeing the resurrection. Mwalimu said, Uhuru Kenyatta resurrected Jubilee, and now Jubilee is now reinventing itself, getting members, getting its strength, and now Rigathi Gachagua has Okay, they have been, friends. There's a retreat. So does it mean that Azimio is working with Rigathi Gachagua? Question number one. Does it mean that Uhuru Kenyatta is going to work with Rigathi Gachagua and Kalonzo Musyoka? Number two, where does that leave him? That's the battle royale I want us to talk about right now. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. One, the fourth president of the Republic of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, has every right to associate. He's a Kenyan, he's a statesman, and he has every right to take whatever political direction that he wants. I don't know why this government, any mention of Uhuru Kenyatta is scaring them very badly. I don't know what they have done, that they are so scared. Like they have, like you can go and tamper with something, then when you hear the parent coming, you are shaken all over. The issue of Azimio, I've just said, it is the right of the Uhuru Kenyatta to structure, not to revive. The word is not revive because it was not dead. To structure. However, the question you are asking, how Azimio will fit into the whole bigger plan of the alternative government plan will be discussed in due course by all parties. Then we are going to see whether we are going to go with the name of Azimio or we are going to get another name. All those things will be discussed in that formula. Now, the other time, people asking is Uhuru Kenyatta working with Rigathi, who is working with who? I can tell you this, that we are all coming together. We are going to get the president, Uhuru Kenyatta, as a son of this country, not as a person from Mount Kenya, because he's a statesman. Somebody who has been a head of state is above there. So we are going to we have invited the Uhuru Kenyatta to be part of this team of alternative government next year. That is not a secret. I don't know why people are shaking all over the place, like they have done something wrong. This is his right to join the team. Remember, the Eugene Wamarwa,
yes.
Fred Matiang'i, Kalonzo Musyoka, all these people have worked with Uhuru Kenyatta, including the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua. So, Mother Karua was a running mate for Raila Odinga last time, and all of them working under Uhuru Kenyatta. There's no reason, there's no problem with all people working together for that. That's number one. And I want to say this, please. I want to request our people, let the government. You have been there for 4 years. You have had all the money and the army and tear gas. Please concentrate on selling what you have done for Kenyans, and let's meet on the ballot. There's no shortcut here. Don't begin running around, getting scared and all that. But I want to tell Wakili, just very important. One, there is no problem, Vic, for a member of parliament, either Senate or National Assembly, or even a member of the County Assembly, to decide that I was elected on UDA, but in 2027, I'll change my political course. They are not saying that they are changing their course now. They are here, yes, but you must plan about tomorrow. They are simply saying, I was elected on UDA, but I have a right to decide on which party I'll defend my seat on 2027. So we have a case of Raila Odinga, who resigned, I think that was the 1990s. So when he disagreed with Ford Kenya, that was his. Somebody can decide to resign, go seek mandate, or wait. There's nothing wrong with that. So you cannot come and tell us, what is UDA MPs doing, yet they are saying DCP? I'm just telling you, because we have to understand these things. Myself, I was elected on Jubilee one day, and we wait until the end, and I voted on UDA the other time. Now let me tell you something else. Wakili, at no point, because I was part of the manifesto of Kenya Kwanza, did we say Kenyans would be taxed to do affordable housing? It's not there in the manifesto. I want you to go look at it. The President Uhuru Kenyatta did all those houses in Mukuru without taxation, without a housing levy. The ones that are being now, dancing all over the place. The president is dancing over the whole night there, saying that it is his project. It was started by Uhuru Kenyatta. The same PS called Hinga was a PS. They did a lot of work without a penny of the housing levy. So that's for record. Number two, this issue, all this talked about SHA. We had proposed upgrading of NHIF until something was brought down the throat of Kenyans because some company had to come in, a private company that is milking 2.5% of all the money that is being received by SHA contributors. So this is where shift happened. And when you keep on saying, Wambui, that some people who are here, they are the people who are in this government, the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua has been very consistent. What you do as an advisor, Vic, you don't go shouting the first day saying, hey, I've given this advice to the president. No, you advise. Until a time when it was no longer possible, because your advice is not taken and the country is going to a wrong path. Remember, the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, the second. The first one was a learning curve. Because, remember, we had said, don't overtax Kenyans. But I don't know why. The president came thinking, let me milk this one cow until it drops dead. What we had proposed, widen the tax base. Let everybody pay 20 shillings. Every market person pay 20 shillings, then the money will be more. But what happened in this government, it was taxing the first day. You remember the first Madamano on finance bill? It was about overtaxation. The second one, Rigathi was said, he went to the, and he said, I've listened to the ground. People don't want more taxation. That is where the problem begin coming between me and the president and President Ruto. The Honorable Rigathi opposed the issue of Gen Z's kidding. That's why he had a problem with the president. Remember, he had a problem with us invading South Sudan. He was told to sign a letter inviting the deputy. He refused. Because what you do as a deputy, what you ask is to advise. You cannot be advising the public. You advise until the time that comes and say, if I keep quiet anymore, Kenyans will ask me, where was I? Okay. That is why it came to a place, even including myself, it was no longer possible to continue advising. Because the things you are saying, instead of them being done, you are being humiliated. So you just decide and say, wait, there's a bigger cost for Kenyans. Let us go out there and tell Kenyans the truth. And that's why we are saying, please, let this government concentrate on giving us the scorecard of what they have done for 4 years, not take us to Singapore. I didn't think Amwalimu would mention Singapore in this show. Surely, it's a scam. It's an illusion. It's an imaginary thing. Don't come and mention such things here. We should know better in this panel.
You can't gaslight me not to mention Singapore. You know, Singapore is a very small country that came from nowhere to somewhere.
Those are stories, and we know those stories you used to read in school. Stories of some imaginary countries that happened. There are some women.
Let me know when you finish.
Okay.
There are some women even who think that Singapore they are going to go one day with a matatu. It is very sad.
Can you respond? Very good.
You can always take Singapore and paint it with bad everything. But let me tell you, Singapore was a very good choice for a benchmark. Because we can't say we want to be like America, we want to be like the United Kingdom. We can only be like a country that was where we were only a few years ago and has now improved. And Singapore was one of those countries which do not have any known natural resources and got to where it is. And so that is the only way we can put a benchmark that we strive to achieve. But let me tell you, you are telling us here that Uhuru has legitimate rights to participate in the Kenya politics.
Uhuru again.
Wait a minute. And that is why I am telling you, he's a legitimate target for political battle. He's our target because Uhuru is the sponsor of all these things. And you know it. We have said it here. You have told us about Azimio. You have told us about resurrecting Jubilee. You have told us about him attending the meeting and leading everyone into a unity against a president that he promised 10 years that he never gave. This is a person who betrays everybody he works with. He cheated Raila Odinga that he was going to make him the president. But the moment the BBI failed that was going to make Uhuru prime minister, he stopped supporting Raila. And immediately, President William Ruto was sworn in. He led this guy to the streets. So this is a guy we cannot rely on. He has betrayed everyone. But let me remind you that Uhuru came up with the Big Four agenda: manufacturing, housing, universal health, and food security. None. Galana Kulalu failed. It is President William Ruto who came and resurrected it. Universal health care failed. It is President William Ruto who came and brought SHA. Manufacturing failed. It is the president that is now bringing manufacturing points in every county around in the form of where manufacturing is going to take place in all those counties. So all these things that Uhuru failed to do, including affordable housing, was Uhuru's original idea. That never took off. You are telling us about that he built a few houses here which were never even completed in all the years he was in power. And President William Ruto has come and done it in every county in just 3 years. We can't compare these two people. We can only compare them when Uhuru is leading onslaught against President William Ruto. Let's do this. Kenya belongs to all of us. Let's count the projects that the president is doing, and let's compare it with those that were done in the past. Why do I say so? Because the people who are queuing to remove President William Ruto, like Matiang'i, like Rigathi, like Kalonzo, were there. They were players in the political field, and nothing was achieved when they were in power.
So that just paint for me a picture of how it's going to be.
Yes.
After this meeting, and the brilliant ladies and gentlemen, already sat down and they have a verdict out there. What are we looking at as a form of the Battle Royale?
Let me tell you for free.
If we can be in a position to preempt.
Let me tell you for free. people are still singing and talking about, oh, united opposition, before a candidate is mentioned. The moment it is not Kalonzo, Kalonzo will tell you, I am too old to wait for anyone else. If you put Kalonzo, some of these people will say, we thought it was going to be our son. The reason why 1.5 million votes came from Mount Kenya to Raila Odinga is because they did not have a candidate of their own. They did not. If they had, all votes would have gone to one candidate. So don't be cheated that the talk of united opposition, the talk of retreat, it will do nothing. It will do nothing. And these people, Matiang'i, has no capacity to wage a political war against President William Ruto. So the moment he is not the candidate, nobody in his backyard will follow him. So I can tell you for free, this election is going to be decided in the final end on the basis of the performance of this government, on the basis of Rironi Mau Summit Road, on the basis of Talanta Stadium, on the basis of the SHA, on the basis of the multiple projects going on in and around this country. That is what is going to decide this election. It is not going to be decided on tribal arithmetic, regional balance, sijui one-term slogans. It is going to be decided on that basis. It is going to be decided on well-known, recorded, documented performance of a sitting president.
Wakili.
Yes,
it's going to be a big battle, right?
Indeed. I think from even the speeches we are hearing from the panelists.
As we take a break.
Yes, but you know, I have some little right of reply.
Yeah.
Yes. So Daktari.
No.
I just need
what have I done? What is he replying to?
I just need to illuminate the minds of the viewers and the listeners at home, so that, of course, even with the academic prominence of Daktari, that sometimes when he's pulling our leg, we can also try and illuminate the mind of the viewer. Now, I agree with Daktari, at least on the face value, that there is nothing wrong with you know, being an ODM member, being a UDA member, anticipating that in the elections of the year 2027, you will probably run with another different outfit. There is nothing wrong with that. That is even planning. The problem is, and this is what the law abhors, is that while you are elected by one outfit, then during the continuation of your term or before the expiry of your term, you tend, by conduct or by implication, to associate yourself and to espouse the values and the principles of another different party. As we speak right now, we have so many members of parliament and senators who are elected under UDA, who every now and then hurl insults at the president. Mine actually wished the president to die at some point when he was speaking in a public forum. And yet this is the person that blessed him. Actually, William Ruto blessed this person, gave them the resources for them to persuade us or to have at least an equal platform for them to compete fairly with other members of parliament. So what am I saying? I'm saying this, that for us to weed out some of these, the political, some of these games that we see with our politicians, what we need to do is we need to be honest with ourselves. That if for one reason or another you don't like the policies or you do not want to be associated with the policies of the party that elected or had you elected into office, you just need to walk out. Be brave. Be brave. If you are man enough, be brave, go back to the people. Tell the people, I no longer, like mine, keeps on calling the President Kasongo. You, Kasongo, I no longer want to be associated with you. So what I have done, away with your party, let me go and seek fresh mandate. Right now we have a fully constituted IBC. Lastly, sorry.
Wait, let's just take a break. It's already 8:01 and the director is saying we take just a quick break.
But there is one other element.
I will do that. Okay.
Thank you.
So let's take a break. When we come back, we are going to give a fresh mandate as we continue this Battle Royale, the final leg. Stay with us. Welcome back. All right, so the Battle Royale continues. Doctor, are you okay?
Yeah, me, I'm good. But I've seen Wakili is pointing at me saying I have a right of reply. There's nothing wrong I've done.
Very good.
Yes, I was just trying. Yes, I was just trying respectfully to take us down the memory lane so that we do not forget where we are coming from. Because a man's future must be informed by his past.
Correct.
So that you just want to introspect some things so that you get to understand who is telling the truth and who is just lying to Kenyans. speaking of this housing levy, because it's important, it is something that has been dragged through and through. This housing levy, the tax, was passed in the bill that was passed in the year 2023, the first one, under the Kenya Kwanza regime. During that period of time, Daktari was part of the government. Daktari, I think, exited the government sometime in January last year or something. Yes. And
when was it, Daktari?
I think January 2025. Okay. Yes. So that it is important that we also get to understand what were the feelings of these individuals who are supporting that initiative then, and why have they had a change of heart as we speak now, so that we can be accountable for what we did during those period of time, or that period of time when we were given an opportunity. Because most of us tend to run away from accountability. We are speaking about accountability of governance, isn't it?
Yeah.
So even when you're given an opportunity of being a caretaker in a building, there are certain responsibilities that you will be having, so that when you are asked certain questions, you need to be accountable and respond to them robustly. So we need to find out, because these members of parliament who are now pointing fingers at others were the ones that were pivotal during the passing of this law that is in issue. What did they do during that time?
Yeah.
And even more, now that they're still in power, because a majority of them are still members of parliament, they're still senators, they have an opportunity. If there is a problem with the law, if there is a challenge with the law, they have an opportunity of presenting the bills, proposing amendments to these provisions that some people or they themselves found to be uncomfortable. So they don't take action when they are given an opportunity. Instead of doing what they were employed to do in parliament, what they do is just running around. And that is what I call political dishonesty. So that if we are to be true to ourselves, if you find something uncomfortable, rush to court, like Okiya Omtata has always been doing. I mean, Omtata is part of senators. And sometimes when the Senate passes something that he does not even believe in, he will go ahead and challenge these provisions in the court of law, so that you weigh these provisions as against the Constitution.
Yeah.
So that the will of the people ultimately is either seen to be done or is done.
Yes. Okay, I asked a question on how we are trying to foresee the 2027 election panning out. We have got several formations, Mwalimu, because what has it, and I think, Dr. Mbai, you'll have to help us understand this. There is a looming handshake between Uhuru Kenyatta and Gachagua?
They have been talking.
They've been talking?
They have been talking for the longest. So what people are calling a looming handshake is maybe appearing in public together. But they have been talking for the longest time.
You know what that really means? Appearing public together. They have never appeared anywhere.
That is it. And
we've been here.
And
so
the time
is that a subtle
and the time will come.
Okay.
And the time will come, but they have been talking.
Sawa.
I mean, they are neighbors. I mean, there are a lot of things together. And there's no way you can expect that the Honorable Gachagua is by and large the political leader of the Mount Kenya without referring to the elder statesman called Uhuru Kenyatta. So they have been talking, and it's been going on. And I don't know why people are shaky. It's a reality. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
The handshake is coming?
Big time. Let me tell you.
Oh, okay. So it's not just appearance.
I started the show by telling you we have locked 20 million of the 28 million plus. Already locked, done, dusted. In the whole country. Before they were trying to shape this to be a battle between the president and the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua and Mount Kenya, it is all over, because the challenges in this country don't just reside in Mount Kenya.
Okay.
They are across.
Great.
But it's good. But for that 20 seconds, you know, Akiri, I agree. I hear you. Yes. You are a lawyer. Yes. You came here to help us. Let me tell you. The whole issue about this levy went through Parliament, both houses, you remember. It was more of Parliament-driven thing. It was not primarily the issue of the what is this, the finance bill of 2023. Take it from me now, because that's why I'm here. Having the advantage of being with the President since 2018, being part of the manifesto, and being here now talking, that's why I'm outside here. Because I carry the weight and the pain of the lost opportunity. Why I'm here, Wakiri, is a lost opportunity for the 5 years. If only we did 40% of the issues we tabled before the president like this, as a team of delivery experts, told him, let's do this, 40. Even at 5, would be talking another language. But fights began. The whole idea about helping Kenyans is no longer there. You begin fighting political battles. The people who helped you, you want to impeach them. The people who helped you, the strong CSs from out Kenya, remove them, bring other people who are going to be yes people. That is where the whole thing corrupts. I can tell you today, me, I talk because of the pain of the wasted and the lost opportunity that we had for 5 years to help this country.
So
let me tell
manifesto,
you, in a
manifesto,
nutshell,
yes.
At no one point have we ever agreed we are going to tax Kenyans to build houses for them. Nothing. In any case, Wakili, if I need to tax you, you must sign somewhere that I need to be deducted housing levy so that I can go know how I'm going to build a house. You cannot go meet people. They don't need, they have mortgages, right? Yes. They have their own way of looking for their own houses. Others don't need houses. They want farms so they can be farming in the village. You come and tax them by force. Our general report is a fine one. So you ask for our agenda. Our agenda is simple. We have to corrupt housing levy. We have to free the pay slip. We have to ask people to go solve their own housing issues. We have to go back and return NHF and upgrade it. We have to make sure we know what's the education system we are working on. We have to kill all the cartels of corruption. You are talking about Taranta Hera. Taranta Hera every day. Taranta. But we know corruption started when the contractor of Taranta Hera was asked to do a hotel belonging to the ruling elite inside the forest. And the title deed is in the name of Bergut MP. We know. So you are trying to tell us we are doing... No. It was in the news. So this kind of corruption... Then you go, Wakili, then you go, Victor. I said, that's what was said. Then a letter came out.
Yes.
We are talking about the system.
It is allegation, Dr. Right?
Yes. We go, I mean, that's what it is in the public. Then, let me tell you what. Let me tell you, Victor. We are being pained because we knew and we thought these things would work. Empowering young people, doing industries in the whole country, helping our own people. What happens? We go build a hotel inside the Mala. Something which Jomo Kenyatta would not do, something which Moi would not do, something which Kibaki didn't do, something which Uhuru didn't do. Are we saying we are the only people who have come on earth? We are changing everything. Okay. We are corrupting everything. Trying to build a hotel inside the Mara. Kenyans are saying, we don't want a one more show anymore. We want a president who is a team leader. Among all the people you see here in the alternative government leaders in the opposition, one of them to be president, others to become ministers, to help in the structure of government. But nobody, the issues of corruption and small-time thieving, it's like a father tiptoeing to the fridge at night to go and steal milk and bread for the children. This is good to happen. Okay. It is done. And we are only in February.
I think, Victor, to come and tell us that somebody built a hotel in Mara, which Moi did not do. Do you know how we held Uhuru Park to be sacred? Who has defiled Uhuru Park? We no longer have it. You are Uhuru Kenyatta, the very one leading onslaught against President William Ruto. Let us be honest.
Who is no longer the president?
He's no longer, but what he did is still standing there. Haven't you talked about Kenyatta?
Accountability.
Haven't you talked about Moi here?
Okay.
They are no longer the president. So we are not going to allow you to use double standards. Uhuru defiled Uhuru Park, a place where women stripped to stop Moi from building anything there. It's no longer there. Uhuru Park is not there anymore, as we knew it. So let's talk about this, my brother. Uhuru has built a private SGR from his land in Mariakani on private land all the way to his land in Naivasha. And you here talking about Sijui Talanta Stadium, Sijui built for somebody a private hotel. The reason why the old meter gauge railway did not provide land for the new SGR is because somebody wanted to be compensated for the multiple land of his own where the stations are being built. He wanted to redirect.
I don't know how I can verify that information, Dr. Mwalimu. I'm not so sure how I can verify that.
Victor,
yeah.
SGR is not built on the old meter gauge railway. It is built on newly acquired.
I'm not so sure how I will authenticate that.
But it is. But we have the meter gauge railway still there.
And Uhuru Kenyatta will not be on the ballot.
We don't talk when you are talking. Let me tell you, my brother. It's not something to verify. Did we uproot the old meter gauge railway to build the new one? We did not do it. We acquired new land and compensated owners. And we built that railway line straight from Mombasa to Naivasha, Duka Moja huko. And whose land is that? Uhuru Kenyatta. We rebuild for you a railway to your land, then we compensate you for your land where the railway is built, then we use NYS to fence off that land for you.
Okay. There's a question.
And then you come here telling us about Sijui corruption. And this is the same person. Do you know what informed where the Eastern Bypass is? The Northern City. Do you know that this Southern Bypass was built so close to the city center that it almost didn't do what it was supposed to do, because we wanted to do the eastern and the northern bypasses to benefit certain people.
I've been wanting
so
to
this
ask
Kenya
this
belongs to all of us, Victor. We must share it equally.
Thank you. There is a viewer here. He's asking this question, but this actually goes to all of you as we come to a close. A very funny name, Kim Pistolero. I don't know what that name is, Kim Pistolero, but it's okay, fine. He's asking, at the end of the day, where are we seeing ourselves now that there is, with regards to the formation that is coming up, the handshake that you're talking about, and now the next regime where we have got the next cohort of young members of parliament. There's a split in ODM, all right? The faction, not a split, faction. So what's going to happen? That's basically the question. I want you to get this for Dr. Mwalimu before I come to you.
Fire the question again.
The question is all about how it's going to be when you have that formation, the handshake, all right, between Uhuru Kenyatta and, of course, Rigathi Gachagua. We have Kalonzo Musyoka, and there's that faction of ODM. How is it going to be moving forward
told you
towards the
that
elections?
President William Ruto's only opponent in the 2027 election is Uhuru Kenyatta using proxies. I sat this very spot and told you that Edwin Sifuna and the group are working for Uhuru Kenyatta. So Uhuru Kenyatta has the Edwin Sifuna group, has the Jubilee group, and has the and is trying to bring them together to remove the very person he promised 10 years in office. To remove the very person who made him president. For a very simple reason. He has to remain within the proximity of power. So, you remember, I said here, even before Raila died, that Edwin Sifuna had already crossed over. In fact, Raila was tolerating him for an opportune time to kick him out the same way he kicked Margerer Langat and Ababu Namwamba. So do not think those people are members of ODM. They are not. Don't you see, it is one of them that Uhuru picked to make the Secretary General of Azimio. So that is a formation, Uhuru's formation. Azimio is Uhuru's formation, and even all these others, that he wants to use against his own former deputy who helped him ascend to power.
All right.
Sometimes I want to ask Rigathi Gachagua. He said in his community, betrayal is unacceptable. Is Uhuru Kenyatta not a member of his community who betrayed Ruto and betrayed Raila? Is that not a member of his community? So let us not be lied to. Oh, whenever you want to touch on him, you tell us he left office. He left office and is the one assembling forces against his former deputy. So the bottom line here, whatever is happening in Kenya today has nothing to do with performance. It has everything to do with tribal arithmetic and ethnic dominance.
Which I'm so sure Obo is not so happy about. How would you respond to that concern? Well, the handshake coming up, the kind of realignments that we are just about to see. I call it, people, men and women are going to have coffee, late night meetings and retreats and all that. A lot is about to happen. What are we likely to see? I'm so sure the president, the ruling coalition right now, is waiting somewhere, looking at how, the game of chess, your next move. So how is it going to be now that the handshake that is looming, and then we have another faction, a lot of defections happening around? What would you see?
Well, to the run-up of, as we head to the year 2027, the elections, of course, we are going to see a lot of realignments. And the hand of the former president, His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, is something that we are likely to see, largely because he is a youthful person. I mean, he is not as old as the other retired presidents. And sometimes I hear Daktari say that politics can be very addictive. So he might not be so ready to abandon the political field for retirement, of course going with his age. But again, permit me to mention something about the split that we are seeing in ODM. I was a very ardent student of the already departed former Prime Minister, Raila Amolo Odinga. That is the man I have known throughout my life. I have been electing him for the opportunities I have had. And I don't believe, from where I sit, that the split is actually a split. What we have perceived or what we see as a split in the ODM, I personally and honestly don't see that there is a real split in ODM. And I will say this with the benefit of hindsight.
You think they are united?
I think these are just, you know, political games. This is, I will probably be forgiven for being naive in politics, but these are my views. I am expressing myself as I think is appropriate in the circumstances. When I look at the situation now, this situation is not any different from the time when Raila Amolo Odinga was alive. During the time Raila Amolo Odinga was alive, Sifuna took the political position that he has already taken even now, the one that he's espousing, the one that is going around Busia and everywhere else saying that he is against Ruto. We saw it even during, there was a certain funeral, I think it's in Homa Bay or somewhere, where Raila, even while he acknowledged that Sifuna, Edwin, my senior in the profession, speaks for the party, he warned him against being so, you know, tough with his positions. But again, he never scolded him for taking that political position. While at it, he also acknowledged that there were people who are now working for the ruling class, for the Kenya Kwanza government or the administration. And he noted, and he said that he has sent his machinery so that it can help the ruling class in delivering its promises to the people. So if you ask me, I tend to believe or imagine that the split that we are seeing right now is one that has been stage managed for the purpose of ensuring that the ODM party, you know, gets a good footing when it comes to bargains or making its bargains in the political table. And probably time will tell as to whether I am correct or what Daktari has made, the submissions that Daktari has made are correct. I tend to imagine and believe that in the fullness of time, this orange is going to be one. And it's going to be one so that it can bargain with the ruling class, Kenya Kwanza.
The only change...
Okay. Good observation there. Okay.
The only thing I have followed Wakili very nicely. Let me start from where he ended. I agree.
Just a minute. To bargain and not field a presidential candidate?
Yes, they do not have. ODM does not have the muscle of fielding a presidential candidate. And they know that too well.
The late Prime Minister said that they should be ready to field a candidate in 2027.
I mean, you see the totality of everything that Raila Amolo Odinga was doing and saying.
Okay.
At one time, he made the assertion that we are not interested about the one term. It is the people who are going to decide whether it is one term or two term or whatever the term it is.
Okay. So can I put it that probably they're, based on what you've said,
yes,
if they unite, so there will be who is the highest bidder, depending on which formation will be there, leave alone even the ruling coalition.
Yes.
So you think ODM is trying to position itself for the highest bidder?
Of course.
Okay.
If it had not even been for this, you know, the divide that we are entertained with, then probably ODM will have faded long time ago. It appears to me to have been a tactic to ensure that we keep speaking about ODM, we keep making it a national discussion, and then ultimately it is going to help ODM to rally its troops behind Kenya Kwanza so that they can get a very good bargain out of that deal.
I'm not sure why Wakili thinks. Once this ODM is won, they will necessarily go and bargain with Kenya Kwanza. I don't know why he comes from that school of thought. My thinking is, yes.
And that's why I put it the highest.
Exactly. So, but he doesn't seem to get what you're asking. He seems to believe they can only go to bed with Kenya Kwanza. Let me tell you what will happen.
Okay.
The voice of ODM is Sifuna. The beauty about Sifuna, he has not changed tune. Even when Laila was there, Laila stood and said he is a spokesman.
Yes.
That is important.
Yes.
Can I say this today? If it is true, Laila was taken out. He was taken out because the people who took him out believed he was finally going to lock out, to bolt out of the government. Let's go through it. So this is my thinking. If you looked at the crowds at Nyayo Stadium, if you look at the crowds at Ibondo, how they celebrated Sifuna, how they celebrated Kalonzo, I can tell you 70% of ODM today, they are in opposition. 70%. Hold on a minute. 70%. Remember, the president bought, or thought he had bought Azimio, 7 million. But in the 7 million, Kalonzo went, Western went, Mijikenda went, Masai Kisii, left with ODM. But even in Luo Nyanza today, 70% are gone. Now, this is what will happen. Oburu and the ministers in government, they must keep quiet. Because they are like, they must eat first, properly. They must eat. They agreed this time round. Last time, they were victims of association with Uhuru Kenyatta, and they lost the presidency. So they say this time around, we must keep quiet. I can tell you by December, ODM structure organs will sit down and agree they are going to have a presidential candidate in ODM, just like DCP we have a presidential candidate. Then they are going to come to the table for the united opposition. ODM will end up in the united opposition. That one I can tell you that.
The director is saying that she's been so gracious to us. 30 more minutes on top of, just imagine. Well, you want to say something?
You know, Victor.
Yeah.
When you talk about Sifuna was saying the same things even when Raila was alive. Of course, I do agree. But that is Raila's way of doing things. When ODM was protesting against Ababu Namwamba, every public statement Raila made about him was good. He's my SG. He's our spokesperson. The day he was kicked out, he didn't know what hit him. There was once a chief executive of ODM called Margaret Langat. Raila defended him at every public function. The way he was being thrown out, he was lifted soldier high and thrown out of the gate of Orange House. That is how Raila does it, because when you have a house girl in your house, never let her know she's going to be fired. Yeah. She can poison you. When somebody is having the documents of the party, you don't let them know they are going to be fired. So I think you are thinking in such a way that suits you, makes you feel happy. But the bottom line, if Raila was alive today, Sifuna would have been long out of ODM.
I don't think so.
Please, you will talk about it, and you had already had a chance to talk about it. He would have been long gone. So I can tell you for free, ODM is not going to have a presidential candidate. When Raila Odinga said that, who told you we are not going to have a presidential candidate? That presidential candidate was President William Ruto. Raila Odinga was not going to.
Did he say that? Did he say that? You know,
I am telling you.
Even
these things you are saying.
Mwalim belongs to the 1% of the faction that are eating from government. So it's not.
Can I let you talk? Then when you finish, you let me go.
It's not the 70% that is in the opposition.
So let me tell you.
To Malaysia, yes.
Raila Odinga did not tell you who the candidate was going to be, and it is me to tell you who it was.
Raila Odinga said also that ODM must have a presidential candidate, then go negotiate.
That candidate was Ruto.
That candidate was a presidential candidate to go negotiate with the united opposition.
So when Raila Odinga joined President William Ruto, do you think this other formation wasn't there?
What was the last?
He had a decision to join Ruto and not Rigathi. Join Ruto and not the organizers of the street protest. And that he was not going to change.
Somebody's asking.
And let me tell you, you are saying that 70% of ODM is now in the opposition. In the opposition, didn't you see Ruto in Kisumu? What did you see? And there was not a single ODM leader with him.
There's a gentleman called Jeremy here.
He was heckled a lot.
There's a gentleman called Jeremy asking, do you guys ever have a peaceful conversation?
No, what we have is a very what do you mean? What do you mean?
You know,
that's okay.
Jeremy should understand. This is the most peaceful we can ever get.
Victor,
it's very peaceful. So you don't have to get worried.
Victor,
we are very peaceful actually.
In other words, he's wondering that are these people are they able to shake hands? Okay, for the sake of it, Jeremy, they are good friends.
But by the way, just a reminder.
They have one another's numbers, but then they're going to drive in same cars. They walk out.
Victor,
Jeremy,
a reminder.
Stay at peace.
Stay at peace, Victor. A reminder.
Okay.
Uhuru Kenyatta is not on the ballot. Let the ruling elite concentrate, know that Uhuru Kenyatta is not on the ballot. He has a right like any other Kenyan.
We all know that.
Please, very, very important. Number two, I have news here, which is very good news for us. One of our good lawyers called Soyin Kalempa has gone to court to stop the president of holding UDA meetings in State House. Jomo Kenyatta never used to do that. Moi used to go to AICC. Uhuru Kenyatta, Moi Kibaki never used to desecrate State House. Please, if you have to do party things, go look for a venue somewhere outside there. So that's very good news for us.
Victor.
So next time we go blind in State House, it needs accurate in order to be cleansed.
Okay.
That's very
Victor.
Okay.
Victor.
The gentleman who has just spoken is called Dr. Peter Mbai. He's a secretary, Planning and Economic Affairs, DCP. Yes, Odoyo Widi.
Victor, all the Jubilee parliamentary group meetings were held in State House. On October 2nd, 2017, Uhuru Kenyatta held grassroots leaders, women, 15,000 of them in State House, complete with party regalia. All parliamentary groups meetings at Jubilee or whatever party Uhuru was, were held at State House. Don't tell us about Kenyatta. During Kenyatta, there was no proper constitution.
Okay.
During Moi, there was no proper constitution. Let us talk about the very person that has gone to the streets to remove Ruto from power.
Both of you are speaking from, whichever political side you belong. But can I ask this question? Is it possible to have a neutral ground?
On what?
Which one? On
Where
what?
to hold these political rallies and meetings? Is it possible?
Let me tell you, my brother.
Victor.
President William Ruto is the president of the Republic of Kenya, living in State House. You can have your guest where you live.
Thank you.
If today the governor of Nairobi has begun a house, he can hold anybody, any meeting there.
We call him Mwalimu. He's a political analyst. Ulikunywa nini leo asubuhi?
Nyuki.
Very nice. Shadrack Kombo is an advocate of the High Court. You want to have something?
Yes, I wanted to make mention of something.
Yes.
I think what we are doing, we are striving to have a difference without a distinction.
Yeah.
Because, the example that has been given by Daktari is that the previous presidents used to conduct their meetings in KICC, and it appears to him to be convenient to have the meetings in KICC. KICC is a government building.
Yeah.
State House is equally a government building. It's a house where we claim ownership as a people, the same way we claim ownership of KICC. So really, whether we will have the meetings in KICC, in State House, I think this is just about clamoring to have a difference without a distinction.
Yeah.
Remember, we do not even have a clear distinction in the presidency. The president is the head of state, is the unifying factor. Again, the president is equally the leader of the UDA. So really, now, the point we should be making, if at all we need to look for a neutral ground, then we should be saying it is not convenient for him to have meetings in KICC, it is not convenient for him to have meetings in State House. Let him have these meetings at Safari Park, where he will be hiring those grounds at the expense or at the cost of the party.
Okay.
I think that can be.
KICC you can hire. It's private grounds, by the way.
I think
you can, anybody can
is
hire.
It private?
Yes.
Thank you.
No,
Thank
it's
you.
government.
No, it's owned, but anybody can hire KICC.
Okay.
Even now we have hired the State House for the president for the period of 5 years.
The State House is a symbol of national unity, where you receive diplomats, not guys with some colors.
Fine. Thank you very much.
My friend.
The gentleman who has just spoken is called Shadrack Kombo. He's an advocate of the High Court of the Republic of Kenya.
We are going to win this case.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming to the show. I think it has been a very good one. Director says that ametuongeza time deliberately because she wanted it that way.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming to the show. My name is Victor. Have a good morning. Bye-bye.